kind of got an ultimatum where it was like, yo, bro, you need to figure it out. What, I'm 38 now, so I was, let's just say for conversation purposes, 34, 35. And I'm like, so I did what I would call a Hail Mary. You get what I mean? Like, and I don't know if they want me to say this, but like, so Benny at the time needed an assistant. And it was like, reach out to this email. Fast forward, the person that was on the other line was actually Jake. So I emailed the shit. He's like, yo, bruh, I want to talk to you, da-da-da-da. So, but it was so crazy. I want to say maybe like 2 days prior or around, it was around that same time. I DM Con like, yo, I see that you need assistance, man. Like, I want to help somehow, some way. Like, I could record, I could do this, I could do that, I could da-da-da-da. He didn't actually dub me, but it was actually like on some, like, add the emotion on Instagram. And I'm like, okay. So, like, from there, I get on the phone with Jake. Jake tells me, like, a list of things that he wanted me to do. I knocked it out, whatever. But before I know it, he wasn't telling me, like, he wasn't saying if I got the internship or the position or whatever. He was just sending me shit like, yo, do this real quick. Oh, yeah, do this real quick. Before I knew it, I'm like, bro, like, what's going on? Like,
yeah.
like, you asked me to do a bunch of stuff, which I wasn't tripping because it was like, it's finally getting me in the position where I wanted to be, right?
You made the Hail Mary.
I made the Hail Mary. The ball was caught at that point. So from there, I would say, without going too in depth with it, for like, I want to say like 4 or 5 months, I was Jake assistant, almost a year, and just to give you an idea, it was around the release of Plugs I met. So
and you had just come from working a full-time job.
I was but I was still working a full-time job. So here's the thing. So I'm working with Jake and shit. Jake asked me all this and, hey, can you show up to this show? Can you show up to this show? I was working a full-time job. But the beautiful thing about when I was working at Delta is I could change shifts. So, like, say Jake hit me at midnight, like, yo, I need you at this show at 5 p.m. I could hit somebody like, yo, can you take my shift? And then because I had such a decent relationship with my managers and stuff, I could do like last minute calls like, yo, this person gonna work for me instead because da-da-da-da. And then I will fly to wherever it is.
To do just an internship.
Just to do an internship. Because, like, one of the craziest things about it, because even when I started to do things with Jake, Jake will always be like, yo, this ain't paid. Like, but I happened to be helping my boy at this time, and I had this graphic guy that I was dealing with already on retainer. So I was already paying him to do work for me anyway. I'm like, bro, man, tripping about that? Like, this is an opportunity. I ain't going to tell you I don't do graphics. Like, we'll worry about that later. I just need to, see what goes from it. So whatever, I would go to all these shows, like, and then eventually to the point that I went from full-time to part-time. And, I would go from full-time to part-time, and when I went from full-time to part-time, the first Griselda tour started. What Was She Gonna Do came about. And, it was right before COVID. At this point, I'm with Conway all the time, pretty much full-time. And me and him was out.
Wait, how did you get from working with Jake to Con?
All right. So without going too far into it, let's just say we built a relationship at that point.
You and Con?
Me and Conway, like, I started to help on the Freddie Gibbs tour. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I would assist there, so on and so forth. And we did, eventually just started to, like, click. And then he would ask me, like, once the tour was over, like, yo, can you jive, come with me out to Art Basel? And I'm like, I'm cool with it. So, from there, that's when, eventually, I pretty much was like, let go from what I was doing with Jake and them. It's all love. It's nothing like that. Yeah. But it was eventually I just separated from being his assistant to, at that time I was really Conway's assistant, like, with him and doing like I said, from I want to say it's like 19. whenever What Machine Gun Do came out. I'm not sure of the date, so we'll have to look at that date. But from that point, I remember from Cruiserweight Coke video, the shooting of that video on down, I was pretty much with Conway all the time. And we did the Griselda tour together, and it was right before COVID kicked off, where when it got bad. We were actually out in LA shooting what's the shit that him and for the Google album with him and Alchemist when he got the body in the trunk?
Oh, what's that video? That's not the one with Schoolboy.
Nah, it was is that Calvin?
Yeah, I think it is Calvin.
You can remove this, but my point is we were shooting a video for that. We were, you know what I'm saying? We were shooting a video for that. And at this point, like, everything is shutting down. Like, you know, we getting calls like, yo, bro, like, if you ain't flying back today, you might not make it back. So at that point, me and Con, like, at this time, I was still living in New York City. Me and Con was like kind of going our separate ways. Like, all right, cool, I'll connect with you. I was at home at that point. So at that point, I was kind of just deciding if I wanted to go back to work. Like, I was able to get some more additional time off because I was on the road with them. I made an excuse or whatever. Like, bro, I got some personal stuff going on. They're like, all right, cool. COVID's coming up. Like, just pay attention, remove yourself, and you'll be able to get the time off and shit. So after that, so I was at home really just trying to figure out my next move because I'm like, damn, I'm really like in a great spot. I was helping Khan do a few. They were promoting the Lulu album, so I was helping him set up his phone calls, and I would talk to the PR guy like, yo, you got this call at this time, you got this going on at this time, and you know, we were doing that. So after that was going, I went kind of low cause trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Because our relationship wasn't like best friends at that point. You get what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be like the overzealous kid trying to be around you 24/7. So it was like, I ain't gonna lie, it probably went like.
That's funny. Overzealous kid being there 24/7. You're like 30. You're like 36 working a full. Like,
but you get what I mean? Like,
I do.
So it's like at that point, it was just like, bro, like it's cool, but like I just didn't want to be like. The one thing about me is like a happy medium. I don't try to do too much, but I don't also like you know what I'm saying? Like you get what I mean? You do just enough. Like know that I'm here, but
you pop out enough, but you don't. Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Over welcome my stay and shit. So it was funny. Like, again, I didn't kind from hole in the wall. Like, you know, so like it was learning his body or understanding him. You know what I'm saying? So I forgot. It was clear as day. I think it was like on a Saturday. He sent me a text like, yo, like, it was weird because we would always have like little small talk during this time. You like, shit, you working? I'm like, what you mean? So at that point, I was doing different things because he told me he was working on a tape at that time, and it was called, obviously out now, but it was called From King to a God. So I was doing shit on my side, but just how I work is just like, I don't like talking about everything. I like to just deliver it and then tell you like my reasoning behind it or the logic behind it. And he like, shit, like I ain't know what was going on, like da 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 da. But so at this time, I'm like, damn. So he kind of like gave me like, yo, if you gonna be working, you gotta be like, we gotta rap, like we gotta be on the phone, we gotta this, that, and third. Especially since you don't live here, I need. You know what I'm saying? If we gonna be doing this is how we gotta stay at it. So again, I was at the crib just chilling. Like I said, I think it was like a Saturday. Maybe it might have been like a Sunday or whatever. Like, and he was just like, well, shit, what's good? I'm like, shit. I mean, I can jive fly down now. Like, what you doing? Like, and I'm going down there just to think, like, we gonna kick it or whatever, da da da. So at the time, like I said, I was still at Delta, so I just looked at the flights. I was like, shit, I can be there at this time. So whatever. I pack only like one or two things as if like I'm about to just, go there for a day or two and then come back. Long story short, I was there, I want to say damn near from like April to almost like halfway through May. And during that time, we was working on From King to a God. Like, because he always bust my balls, like, you know, pause just in case. And he like watches this. That's in the pause community.
Pause. Yo, people are wild with the pause now.
So
people are wild with that.
So, you know, we was, you know, he like, shit, you can record? Yeah. I was like, I don't do it now, but yeah, I got a certificate. I'm decent with it. So I want to say we recorded. I'm about 90% sure. Not. It was outside. It was front lines because it was right after the whole George Floyd shit, and that was one of the first songs that we recorded. And then from there,
you recorded that?
I recorded that, Lemon, Juvenile Hell.
This is shit you wouldn't even know, right? My mind's blown right now.
From King, Jesus Crisis. Like, damn near, like, he recorded a lot because he bought the equipment. But it was like the one thing about Con, like, he gets in the zone and he just want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing I applaud about the nigga. When he in his zone, that's what he, like yo, just don't worry about it. Just hit record. I got everything else. So, you know, at that point, it was just like an everyday thing. Like obviously it was some time where we would just be kind of twiddling our thumbs, but like it would literally be like a full-time shift. I would pull up at his house at like 11 a.m. and cook to like 12 every day. And like I said, I honestly came with probably like two pair of clothes to like, because the thing is, my mind was only coming there to you know, just kick it for a good
Why'd
day.
you stay? I
stayed because it was like, shit, like, this is another part of my opportunity. What am I running home for? You know what I'm saying? Like what now here's the kicker, like, just to take it a step back. So me and my homeboy, Travell, we always used to talk about Griselda once they got like where they are, right? And I always, like, me and him used to always talk about music. I'm like, bro, if anybody from Buffalo ever make it, I'm gonna be a part of it, right? Obviously, everybody says stuff like that in their life, right? But and eventually, I was just like, yo, if I get a part of that, like the Griselda shit, I want to work with Conway. So why? Because he connected to me a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always felt like he was misunderstood, outsider, kind of a loner type of thing. Now, you know, I could be wrong about all these things, but that was always my take on it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's something that's connected me with Conway. He would probably say I'm just a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? That was something that always connected to me. So from there, you know, I just stayed because I'm like, bro, this is an opportunity that I'm really trying to be a part of. Like, there's no reason that I'm running home. Like, I was on COVID leave at work. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was like, shoot, I'm going to stay. But, you know, eventually, I forgot what happened. We were supposed to do a video shoot or something. So I ended up going back to the house, get some more clothes. But then when I did that, I was gone for another 3-4 weeks. And then eventually we just did that over and over and over. And eventually once we got to like the later part of From King to a God, we were out west and we purchased a traveling studio at that point. So we was cooking, like Juvenile Hell was cooked in the Airbnb. Fucking From King was recorded in the Airbnb. Anza was recorded in a hotel name. Just so you get what I'm saying? It was things of that nature. You get what I mean? Like, so it was just on the fly. It was a dude that happened to shoot the same that shot Reject 2 cover, shot From King cover.
Oh, really?
I mean, From King to a God cover. Like, one thing that's why I will say about him, we didn't give him, I guess you could say, just due or the credit for it, but it was only because somebody else manipulated the cover. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He shot it, but it was another guy that actually designed put the crown on and so on and so forth. But